How's it going, everybody, and welcome back to Salvage Auto Rebuilds, where today we are starting off yet again a little bit later this morning. But as you can see, there has been quite a few things happening, and yeah, we had to borrow Uncle Bill's little trailer here because I picked up a full set of interior for the pickup truck. So yeah, there was a guy who listed these things on Facebook Marketplace, and I just went to fetch them this morning. And so yeah, we've got a front and rear bench seat. So we're just gonna quickly offload everything and see exactly what we've got. We've got ourselves a brand new dashboard, fully assembled. It's got a stereo in it and everything. We just had to get a cluster separately, which I already picked up and ordered a brand new one, so it's inside the office. And then we've got the headliner over here with some sun visors, so we're going to be installing that. And last but not least, we've got a carpet in the trailer. So yeah, that actually worked out pretty well, guys. I'm actually pretty stoked that we managed to track this down for a steal of a price of only $1,500. Now, I have spent a little bit of money, but fortunately I also made a little bit of money because we sold our Lada the station wagon, yeah, the VAZ 2104 at auction for a total of $17,000, and I can't recall exactly what the amount was, but I think we got like $14,000. I'll just put the exact number down on the screen for you guys. But yes, as you can see, I also spent some money on upgrading the lift to a 2-post lift. So we picked this thing up for the amount of $5,000. And I was very fortunate enough to sell the old one for $1,000. So in essence, we only paid $4,000 for this lift, which I think is kind of great. So yeah, this is going to definitely help us quite a lot in working on our vehicles. And even as you can see with this big old truck here, it actually kind of fits in a sense. It's not ideal, but it at least works for the moment, guys. So yeah, that is doing pretty well. All right, so we should probably also pop the trunk of the Dodge Challenger here and just get the door panels out of the car as well. We've got some more things in here which we've picked up along with the interior. Okay, so I'll show you guys in a second what that is. We also got ourselves a proper steering wheel for the truck, and then last but not least, there's the gear stick on the interior side of things. And then we've also got our little handbrake cable and rear view mirror here. So yeah, I think we've got pretty much everything that we are going to need in order to put this truck back together today. So I still need to polish all of the paint work that we did in the last episode. So I did go ahead and get the clear coat laid down on this thing. So it is looking pretty fancy now that it has been repainted in white. And as you guys know, we are doing a trim delete on the pickup truck. And yeah, we actually bought a bunch of paint cans as well. So these are going to be for the Dodge Challenger over here, because I decided, guys, it's time. We are going to fix this thing up and make it look a whole lot better. So that is also part of the plans for today, seeing as we are waiting for Brian's car to come back from the service center with its paint job. So yeah, well, I don't really know where to begin. So I think let's maybe start by putting the whole truck back together and getting everything buttoned up in there. Might have to move the Dodge Challenger out of the yard here so that we can have a little bit more space to work around. And then once we are ready for this thing, we are going to start digging into it. Alright, so yeah, guys, absolutely no problems with this car. Taking it over to Middletown with the trailer. And we even had Brian's 1978 Dodge, well, not Dodge Monaco, it's based on the Dodge Monaco, I guess, but the Plymouth Fury that has been dropped off, and we didn't have any problems hauling it with this car, even with this old beat up and tired V8 engine in it. So yeah, this car definitely, I'm starting to slowly but surely fall in love with it, guys. Even though it doesn't look like much, it is definitely a very worthy vehicle of having around for a backup tow rig. But although it's not really ideal for that purpose, but we are definitely going to be working on it, making it look a little bit better. Alright, so I think first things first, let's get some tools. Yeah, I think that's pretty much where we are going to start off with, yeah. So yeah, we've got our tools over there. And let me also show you guys this. I did adjust the cluster. If you look at the mileage over there, it's 554 24,311. So that is in fact the true mileage of the truck. So we managed to get it adjusted with this cordless drill, which is actually epic. So yeah, I'm so happy Uncle Bill decided to let me use that thing. Alright, so let's bring our toolbox out. We're going to bring this over to the truck and see if we can start putting this thing together, guys. Now there's a couple of things we need to manage first of all, and that is sorting out everything on the cab that needs to go onto it. So I think let's go ahead and do that first of all. And let's just put it down over here. Alright, get it opened up, and we are going to be installing all of the parts that actually goes onto it. I think we'll leave the hood to later. I think let's maybe just put this on so at least we know that is sorted. Alright, come on, would you pop onto here? Alright, that might have to go on a little bit later. We'll see how this works. I think it actually has got something to do with the grill as well. So we'll see how that works out. But yeah, let's dig into this and start putting this thing together. Alright, starting with our pedals. Alright, so pedals are in, and we are going to need mostly a wrench for, yeah, pretty much everything that goes onto this cab. I think the dashboard's the only thing that needs a screwdriver. And the rearview mirror. So yeah, let's just go ahead and get everything installed that we can. There's our steering column, so we still need to swap out the steering wheel on this thing. So we'll get it mounted first, and then we will take the old steering wheel off here. Well, not really the old one, but it's it's the wrong steering wheel for the truck, and I think it's time we put a proper one on here. So this is just gonna have to sit around. It's not really in bad condition, but I think it's just going to look better if we've got the proper steering wheel on this thing. So let's go ahead and get this one mounted and just zip it down like that. So yeah, definitely a step in the right direction. Alright, next up, let's get our window, well, not window, well, it's window wipers now. Yeah, as for the windows, I already got the glass mounted to the cab. We still need to install our window winders and the small windows, which I did finally clean up this little window, guys. So let's go ahead and get the windows in next. There we go. Just button that up. And I was thinking of maybe getting some tint later on. I don't think we've got enough tint. We've got one roll of tint that we actually bought for the 1975 Firebird back in the day, but that didn't work out too well. So yeah, I don't think we've got enough. So we're just going to have to roll without tinting the windows for now, which I'm quite happy with that for now. So there we go. That's our window crank back in that door. And let's go ahead and do this one as well for the passenger side over here. Alright, just zip it down. And then I think this can also go back on. This is our wiper motor. Right, just zip that down. Perfect. And then we can grab our master cylinder. Alright, so there we are. Alright, where are the bolts to this? It's a little bit tricky getting to these, but there we go. We've got them buttoned down. Looking pretty good so far. Alright, let's do the door mirrors next. Get these put back onto the truck. Alright, and then let's do the other one real quick. And then I think this cab will be ready to go back onto the frame over there, which we actually refurbished already, guys. We took care of all of the issues on that. Suspension looks good. The only thing that I haven't touched is the engine, guys. But I mean, look at this thing. It still looks pretty decent, and I don't think we've got any issues with it. So far it's been keeping up pretty well with everything we threw at it. So yeah, there we go. Cab is now ready to go onto the truck, and I think let's grab it from this corner over here. Alright, and you know what? Why don't we... Yeah, I think let's do it, guys. Let's put the interior in this thing first of all before we put the cab on. Why not? I mean, there's nothing stopping us from doing it. So let's get the carpet in. Yeah, I think the carpet will probably have to go in first. Alright, then I want to see if we can get the rear seat in. Alright, the rear seat needs to go in at the back. And there was also another panel that I see they didn't send us. Okay. Just gotta check out where the heck that panel is. But okay, we still need the rear panel for this thing's interior. So I don't know where that is. Okay, well, you know what? I guess we'll just check with the guy if he's still got it maybe laying around somewhere. But there's actually a piece of trim that goes around the back over here, which he didn't send with. So, oh well, that's also my problem. I should have checked everything, you know, but alright, well, not gonna break my head about it. Alright, let's maybe put the seat in first, and then we can get the bench seat bolted down with the carpet. So let's go ahead and squeeze this in here. Alright, there's the spot over there, and we'll bolt it down on this side. Let's go around to this side as well, and just zip it down. Alright, that is looking pretty good so far. And door panels, let's get this door panel onto here. I just gotta find a sweet spot for it to pop in and just bolt it down there. And we'll do the same with the driver's side. Just put it on here and just get it buttoned up, and there we are. Alright, one step closer to getting this thing put together. Alright, so the gear stick can go in next. It goes somewhere over here. Just gotta figure out exactly where it goes. It's right over there. Okay, zip it down. And then last but not least, we've got these two little pieces. And oh, wait a second, we still got to put the dashboard and the headliner in. Okay, so yeah, let's do this handbrake lever first, which goes over here. All right, let's just see if we can get to these bolts. All right, looking good. All right, let's pop the headliner in next. All right, just like that. And now we need to secure the headliner with a screwdriver and the rear view mirror. All right, let's just grab the right tool here. All right, grab this. All right, that goes over there, and just screw it down over there. Looking good. All right, and now last but not least would be the dashboard and the cluster. All right, so let's pop this into here. All right, there we go. Alright, there's one screw on that side and one on the opposite side over here. Just gotta figure out where it is. There it is. Okay, so we've got that sorted. And let's quickly just pop the cluster in. We've got the cluster here in the office. Alright, ready to rock and roll. And this is going to complete the interior of our truck. Well, except for the panel that we are missing, but we'll get that later on, guys. I'm not gonna worry about it too much. But okay, now let's get this cab back onto the frame here. Alrighty, and just bolt it down so that we know everything is where it's supposed to be. Yeah, looking pretty good so far. Got it nice and lined up, and yeah, this thing is looking pretty fancy now that it's got a fresh paint job on it. Still need to polish it though, but we'll get that sorted. Let's not forget this. Yep, don't forget that, otherwise we are going to run out of brake fluid. Alright, so just like that, we can now lower the truck back down. Although I didn't really need to have it up on the lift. I actually just tested the lift to see if it actually holds the truck, which, as you could have seen, it clearly did an amazing job at that. Alright, let's grab our hood over here. Alright, see if we can get this onto the truck here. Just gonna squeeze it past here, put it on here, and zip it down. Alright, yeah, these trucks are actually fairly easy to work on if you just do it the way that we did it now. Taking the cab off and the bed off. Alright, let's get the fenders on. Alright, so this fender can go on here. Alright, just got to tighten down all three of these bolts. And then we'll do the same with the other side. Alright, let's grab this one. Alright, pop this onto here. Okay, and there we go. That is our cab and front end now pretty much assembled. I just wanted to check something now, if this logo can go back on the hood. I hope it can, because this is like a finishing touch, and I really would like to have it on the truck again, you know. And yeah, fair enough. There it is, guys. So we've got it installed. And now the last part of the operation here would be to get the truck bed mounted with our black bed floor and bed sides. Alright, I wonder if I should try and grab it from the back. Yeah, there we go. Alright, yeah, there we go. Alright, I already mounted the trim on the tailgate, as you can see, so that is in place. Alright, oh, wait a second, I actually forgot the taillights as well. Alright, well, I'll probably have to get those ordered up, but yeah, you know what, it's not a big problem. We don't really have to drive the truck as yet today. We'll probably have to get it ready for the next episode when we need to go and fetch Brian's car, because they assured me that the car's paint job will be sorted today. And then just going to have to wait for it to cure a bit, and then we're going to be able to pick it up for the next episode, guys. So yeah, that is pretty much all going to work out in good time. So just like that, our truck is yet again put together, and yeah, let's not forget one more thing, guys. So we still need to grab the trailer hook from the Dodge Challenger, because this needs to go back onto the truck, and that way we can at least tow the trailer back to Uncle Bill's house tonight when we take the truck back there. So I'm gonna have to roll with it probably without taillights. You know, it's not a big problem. Luckily, it's not too far, so I think we should be fine without taillights. But there we are. That is our pickup truck now, sort of almost complete, guys. It's just gonna need some taillights and yeah, this interior panel that we don't have. And then I think we're going to be able to take this thing over to the service center for its inspection and just get those license plates. All right, come on, let's just start it up. There we go. All right, absolutely no problem. And handbrake is working, gear stick is working, and our truck is mobile again. So yeah, that was actually a pretty easy and simple job to take care of, guys. So I'm actually quite stoked how this thing turned out. We're gonna have a nice look at it real quick once we pull it out. Now we don't have any parking spots open, so we'll just I think let's just put it over this side, nice and out of the way. Alright, I think that'll do. Alrighty, well, let's have a quick look at this thing and see what exactly it looks like now. Yeah, it looks kind of plain without the trim, but I actually like the look. The wheels definitely do suit the truck with the chrome bits and pieces. So I was thinking of maybe getting one of those roll bars at some point, you know, chrome it up and just make it match the wheels and tires that we've got on this thing. And I actually think it looks pretty good, guys. But do let me know in your comment section if you think we should rather just go ahead and get some trim as well. But yeah, I'm actually happy the way that it looks. It looks a whole lot better than it did. So now there's one more thing that I haven't done yet, and that is the bed cover over here, or the hardtop as they know it, as we all know it rather. And I was thinking of also painting it, although I don't really use it as much, but you know what, it's better to have it matching the truck if ever we do want to use it. So we are going to go ahead and paint it white. So I'm going to have to just pop out the windows, all of the glass, and just see if we can get that sorted. So let's bring our tools a little bit closer. Right, we'll just probably need the pry tool for this, so let's go ahead and do this. We've got this glass over here that can come out. Right, we'll just stack them over here neatly. Okay, there's the first one. Okay, let's grab this one on this side. Alright, so there's the other window, and just drop it over there. Alright, and then last but not least, we'll take out this rear glass. Alright, so there we are. We've got all of our glass now out of the hardtop, and we are ready to get this thing painted white. So I think let's just move our toolbox out of the way. Don't want to get unnecessary overspray on this thing. Alright, so we are going to be working on the Dodge Challenger next. So let's just put the tools over here. Although we are going to be sandblasting, so yeah, we can probably just bring the sandblast here. I think there's a nice open spot here for us to work on, and we've got some bags of sand there, which is great. Alright, so we are going to need our air compressor first of all. Okay, so let's bring this out again. Whoa, I nearly crashed it into the trailer there, but okay, we've got it. Alright, put it down over here. I think that'll work. Okay, we are going to need the spray gun, which is in this drawer over here. Okay, yeah, I think let's bring it over here. We're gonna put the paint into it and just blast this thing with some white paint. Alright, so it's nice and empty. We did take it out, the old can. So let's quickly pop this one in. This one has still got a bit of paint. I didn't know if it's going to be enough, so that's why I decided to buy another can, so that we've got enough paint for this thing. Okay, so let's go ahead and spray it up real quick and see how it turns out. I think it's going to look pretty good. And we should get relatively good coverage on this thing. And just gonna make it match our truck. Alright, there we go. Yeah, I still need to do clear coat afterwards, but we'll let it dry. At least I don't need this thing anytime soon, so it's not really a big problem. Okay, let's come around the back here. Alright, and over this side. Alright, there we go. Almost there. I think that is looking good enough. As I said, it's not really a thing that I'm going to be using a whole lot, so I think it's just better that we just cover it in the white. And I think we actually did it with the paint that we had left, so looks like I bought this unnecessarily, but as I told you guys before, these things are so inexpensive, we might as well buy some so that we know we've got enough and not struggle with, struggling with too little paint. So yeah, there we go. Now the bed cover, or the hardtop, aka canopy. I don't know what you guys like to call it, but I call it a canopy from where I'm. So guys, now I think what we need to do is get the Dodge Challenger into the yard again. So my plan is I'm going to try and see if we can strip this thing down so that we can start sandblasting all of the rust off of it, and just getting it to that point where it's going to look a whole lot better. So we are going to be priming this car up as well. So that is my plan. I want to see if we can prep it for primer, and then yeah, just take it from there. So as for the engine, I am going to be rebuilding the engine probably at some point. I don't know exactly when, but it all depends on money and whether we really want to rush this job, but I don't think we need to rush it at all. We're not in a hurry at all to get this thing looking better. Well, we are kind of not in a rush to get it looking better, but I do want to get it done because I think it definitely deserves it. Let's just put it like that. Alright, so alright, where the heck am I going to start? Let's start at the front end. So strip off all of the grille, the bumper, the stuff like that, and that way we can inspect everything as well. So let's start with the bumper. Bumper is bolted down over here. It's nice and easy to access from here. Let's go ahead and do this. Alright, there's our bumper. Looking pretty good. Nice and chromed up still. Yeah, the chrome is a little bit faded, but doesn't look too bad. I mean, it can still do the car justice once we get this thing looking a little bit better. We've got a bunch of trim on this car as well, but it's not nearly as much trim as the 78 Fury has. But we still need to address this and take that off and just inspect everything. And I reckon everything is going to probably have to be refurbished by our contact that we've got that does all of the chrome plating for us. So yeah, I don't know, guys. We might even send the bumper in for some refurbishing as well. It depends on how far we want to go with getting this thing looking clean and looking fresh, but okay. Alright, now we're going to need a screwdriver for the license plate because that definitely needs to come off. Alright, so let's get this unbolted. Okay, yeah, license plates. Probably getting new ones when we redo the inspection on this car, but we'll see. These ones aren't in bad condition, so we might ask him if we can keep this, because I kind of like the number 123. But yeah. Okay, so now I think, if I'm not mistaken, the grille actually comes off with the headlights. So let's go ahead and take the whole grille assembly off here. Okay, come on. There we go. We've got it. Okay, so the grille itself isn't bad. It looks kind of good, but I wanted to just check on these two headlights that we've got, because yeah, we are missing two headlights. So just want to see if I'm going to have to order 4 new headlights, or what's the story with these. Okay, so this one is acceptable. I will reuse one like that. This one, however, is a little bit bad. So it looks like I'm ordering 3 headlights, which is kind of an odd number, but you know what, it is what it is. Alright, so that looks like the front end of the car pretty much stripped. We don't have anything I would want to take off here. Let's start with the fenders. So this fender has got no trim on it. This one came with trim from the junkyard, but it's probably banged up. Yeah, that is looking kind of bad. Okay, you know what? I might have to order a new set of trim anyway, because, yeah, let's face it, we are missing quite a few pieces of trim on this car, actually. Alright, what else can come off here? The door mirror. We've got a driver's side mirror on this thing, so this can pop off. There we go. Alright, what's the condition of this thing? It doesn't look terrible, but, yeah, once again, could be better. Alright, we don't have a passenger side door mirror on this. Okay, so that is pretty much done then. Let's see if we can get these wiper blades off. Alright, undo this. Alright, so there's the one wiper blade. Alright, the wiper arm and wiper blade. I don't know what the condition is of the blade. Let's just check that as well. Alright, so that one is still pretty decent. So it may have been replaced not too long ago, but okay. Let's do this one as well. Alright, so there's the other arm. Alright, this one is also not too bad, but this wiper blade looks a little bit tired. Yeah, that is looking a little bit nasty. Okay, so might have to get a set of wiper blades, you know, just to get it looking as good as it can. We're not going to be bothered with taking the wiper motor or the linkage off as such. I think that is pretty much something that can stay. But we are going to be taking out the glass in this door. And just having a look at this winder. Yeah, this window winder, aka crank, it still looks good. Glass is still in good condition, so yeah, that's definitely a good thing. Alright, let's do the same on this side, but this side we've got a door panel that needs to come off, and this is going to go straight to the junk. So there's a couple of colors of interior that we can consider. I was thinking of doing a green on green, you know, that will actually work out quite well. I don't know what's up with the red in the green car, you know, it's definitely not my style. But okay, there we go. The other window lifter is also still in very good condition, so it's definitely usable or reusable. Alright, so let's pop out the windscreen. Right tool. There we go. Alright, the windscreen. Windscreen isn't shattered or cracked or damaged in any way, so yeah, this actually needs to go back here. Yeah, let's put it here with the rest of the glass, you know, that's it's pretty much a safe spot for the glass. That's kind of what I'm aiming for with that little alleyway over there. Alright, so windscreen is out. Now we can do headliner and rear view mirror, and yeah, we can pretty much gut the whole interior of this car now, because I'm going to be getting some new interior. And okay, this looks good. And there's the headliner. Okay, what's the condition of this? Okay, the headliner looks a little bit bad. Alright, well, part of the interior, you know, so we'll get some new interior, but this rear view mirror is still good. So I kind of want to put the interior parts one side, but I don't really know if I'm going to be keeping any other interior bits. It all depends on what condition they are as we take it off. Yeah, let's take this dashboard out first of all. Might as well go ahead and do this, and then it's out of the way, and that way we can also inspect it. So there we go. Alright, dashboard is out. Yeah, dashboard isn't the greatest. I would probably replace it rather than reuse it like this. Alright, so there's the cluster. Yeah, looks like we are going to be buying a new cluster. And this thing has got 324,260 miles, which is not terrible. It's not terrible mileage. It's less than our truck. There's a stereo in here, which is pretty much busted. So looks like everything here is going to be replaced anyway. So let's put it over here on our junk pile. Alright, what else is there on the interior? Seats and stuff like that can probably come out as well. Now these seats, they do look like they are in good condition, but we are going to inspect them a little bit better once we take them out real quick. Just see what we are working with here. Okay, so this one is actually not bad. Alright, let's put it over there. Alright, and check this one as well. Alright, and check it out. That's not the greatest, so this one can definitely be trashed. But I think we might hang on to this one, because you never know when we're going to need a seat for a car that might not have anything on the interior. I'll actually help out. Okay, there's a gear stick. Yep, definitely not the greatest, so we'll get that chucked probably. And then this door panel over here, or door card, or quarter panel, I don't know, they call it a door panel, but in my opinion, that's not a door. That doesn't resemble what a door does, you know, so that's just like a cover for the rear. A rear quarter interior panel. Alright, so there's another piece of glass in fair condition, so let's put this down over here for now. I think that's good. Okay, let's do the opposite side one. Alright, let's grab this. And we'll put it down over there. That looks good. Alright, rear glass can be popped out next. Where did I put... You know, me and this freaking pry tool, guys. It's always something that goes MIA. Okay, there it is. Okay, wait a second. Okay. Never mind, I found it. Okay, there's the rear glass. This can go over to this side. Nice and out of the way of everything. Okay, and then, yeah, steering column can stay. Although I might take it off camera. It looks kind of decent still. I don't know. Let's, yeah, what the heck. Let's take it off. Since we are busy with this car, let's just go full with this assembly and check all of the parts. And yeah, just like that, steering column is a little bit worn, and so is the steering wheel on this. So I might actually get a proper steering wheel for this car with a brand new steering column, which will be great. So yeah, what am I doing? This should actually be put over here, because that's part of interior. Okay, so we'll put that over there, and let's check the pedals and also the handbrake lever. Okay, pedals are still good. These were the pedals that we had laying around, so I recall that was actually something that wasn't in terrible shape at least. Okay, but we are going to check this thing, because you never know what's going on with these things. They always seem to be breaking, but in this case, this one is actually good. So we can actually go ahead and put this back into place, because it doesn't really need to come off other than to just inspect it a bit better. So we'll just put that back in there. And now we're going to strip the rear end of this thing, and I wonder if I should take the exhausts off. I think we might as well do that as well. Alright, let's undo these two bolts, and there's our one muffler, which is actually a bit shot anyway, so yeah, this needs to be replaced. So we'll just chuck it over there. Okay, this one on this side might be good. I don't know, let's just check it. And what better way to do that than to remove it from the car and see what it's all about. So yeah, I would say a set of exhausts. But yeah, that's mostly stuff that will be handled when the engine bay is being worked on. So we'll see how it works out. Alright, there's our rear bumper, which we replaced. So this is from the junkyard. It still looked pretty good, so can just put it here by the other one. Alright, now we're going to need our screwdriver over here for the taillights, so that this taillight can be removed. And there's a screw over there, which is a little bit hard to reach. Let's just see if we can figure out how to do this. Okay, there we go. Alright, this taillight is not bad. So, yeah, at least one taillight working properly. It looks decent. So we'll use the one at least. Don't know if this one's going to be any good. Let's just see. Alright, check it out real quick. And yeah, well, what do you know? We've got another decent taillight. So no taillights needed for this car. We're going to take this off as well. Might as well do it, because yeah, there we go. It's fairly easy to take it off. And then this is actually busted. So alright, well, okay. I don't know where to go with the busted parts. Let's just put it over here by the rest of the busted stuff. Okay, so that panel, I was actually wondering if we could color code that, because it might actually look pretty good if we made it the same color as the car, but I'll see how, when it comes to that point, what we're going to do. I might actually just chrome it up, you know, give this car a little bit of a special touch. There's some more trim coming off. I don't know what the condition are of these, but they probably also busted. All of the chrome on this car seems to be kind of in bad shape. Okay, so let's take this one off, which is also, yeah, as I suspected, it's bad. So we'll just get that figured out. I actually forgot about these, so let's take these arch trims, wheel arch trims off. Alright, this one is the one that's not terrible, but yeah, since we are going to be getting new trim, or well, we actually short some trim, so we might as well just get a set of new trim for this car. But I think now everything is pretty much stripped off that I would like to strip off. And I think what we're going to do is, first of all, check this thing for dents. So let's put our tools back in the toolbox so that we know where everything is when we need it. Okay, come on. I just dropped that on my freaking toes nearly. Okay, put this over there. And then let's grab some Bondo. Alright, so we still got 3 tubs of Bondo, which is not bad. So we'll probably be able to do this. So let's just see if there's any dents whatsoever on the car. I don't think there are, because this thing looks pretty straight. It's just the paintwork and the rust is a bit of an issue, but yeah, I don't see any issues here. Okay. Well, that is actually surprising. I didn't find any dents on the bodywork, so we can go ahead and put our Bondo back on the shelf over there. Alright, so I think the next step would be to blast this thing with some sand and see if we can get the rust taken care of. So this is kind of satisfying. I actually love doing this. So let's start with this fender over here. And if I do sandblast the wheels a little bit, that's also fine, because I am going to be painting them anyway. We are got to be painting the car the same color it is. Alrighty, so this fender actually has got quite a bit of rust on it, but it comes off fairly easy, as you can see. And we are going to blast this fender on the car. I'm not going to bother taking it apart. Alright, put that into there. Alright, so I'm so glad we've got the right sand again. Alright, there we go. Alright, there's also some rust on this rocker panel here, and this door's got some rust. Alright, let's blast away the rust on the rocker panel here. Alright, there we go. That is actually so effortless, you know, when you've got the right tools for the job. Alright, and I saw some rust on this door over here. Let's just get that taken care of. Alright, let's turn on the flashlight, then we can see a bit better. If there's any rust under here, it looks good. No rust here. Alright, that looks good. Nothing on this quarter panel. It looks decent. The roof has got a couple of spots of rust. Let's go ahead and sort this all out. There we go. Alright. Not too bad. I actually think this little car is actually pretty solid still. That's only surface rust, you know. It's not a big deal. It's easily taken care of with our trusty old sandblaster. Now, I do want to pop the hood real quick. I just want to check if there's any damage over here, or rust, or anything like that. It looks fairly clean, actually. Yeah, let's just go ahead and blast it away a bit anyway, just for good measure. And we'll do the same on this side. Yeah, there's a little bit of rust on here, but it's nothing terrible, you know. It's manageable. We can still figure it out and sort it out. So yeah, there's also a bit of rust on the fender. We need some more sand. Let's grab some more sand from here. Okay, pop it in there. Okay, and let's continue. Just getting this thing rust free. I don't see any rust on this rocker panel or quarter panel back here, so that actually looks pretty good, guys. This thing is actually more solid than I thought, body wise at least. On the suspension side of things, we still got a inspect the suspension. So we'll see how far it gets. I actually wonder if I shouldn't put the car up on the lift. But that's going to make it harder to do the primering. So we might actually strip the suspension off the car here, or I might actually push it into that, into that spot over there. And then we'll see if we can get that figured out. Okay, there's still some rust on the hood here we need to address. And I still need to check this lower panel over here, which actually looks good. So yeah, let's just blast this last bit of rust away over here. Alright, perfect. And then, if I'm not mistaken, I don't see any more rust on this thing, guys. It looks pretty much sorted now. I haven't checked that door yet and under the trunk. So let's just open the trunk. Alright, nothing around here. We already got most of that taken care of. Okay, let's check this door first. Yeah, nothing wrong over here. Nice and rust free. So that is looking good. Alright, well, I think that is pretty much de-rusting part of this car done and dusted. So I think let's see if we can get this thing pushed into here under the carport. And I wonder if I shouldn't move Brian's engine rather. Yeah, that's something I might have to do, guys. Okay, so let me move a couple of things around real quick, and I'll bring you guys back in a second when I'm ready to start working on the primer work, and then we're going to see if we can do the suspension work. So yeah, I'll be right back with you guys. Alrighty, so there we go. We've got the car under the carport, and I think we are good to start priming this thing. So yeah, we still got a half a can of primer here, which is great. So we can reuse this, or yeah, just use it up. And then I actually bought some more primer. Just need to check. I think it's still in the car's trunk, which isn't a big problem. Alright, come on. Can I just get this paint can in here? Okay, so there we are. Okay, and we're going to need our compressor a little bit closer for this. So let's bring it round about here. Okay, and let's just check for more primer in the trunk. So there's one can over here, which is primer, I believe. Yeah, that is primer. So we'll put it on the table if we need it. So we're going to be priming this car up, and then I'm going to see if I can jack it up and work on the suspension a little bit. We'll probably get to stripping it down a little bit and see what's underlying with the suspension. We did a little bit of work on it already, but I think it's just going to be better to go through everything nicely and make sure this thing is as good as it can be. Alright, so I think let's cue some music and get this thing painted up in primer gray, guys. So here we go. Alright, hold the phone right there for a second, guys. So I just found a little bit more rust under here, so we're just gonna go ahead and blast that away. So yeah, just gotta see if as we find rust we take care of it. So yeah, this was actually very underlying, you couldn't really see it. So there we go, that is all sorted, and let's continue with this primer work, guys. So here we go. Alright, so I think that is good enough. So we managed to get this thing primed up pretty quickly, guys. It actually looks pretty decent now. Yeah, this thing looks nice and straight. It's just gonna need a lick of paint. So we're going to wait for the primer to cure quite a bit before we go ahead and do that. So we might get to that in the next episode only. So now there's another thing that I actually forgot to do, guys, and that is to polish up the truck. So I don't know. I don't think I'm going to do this on camera. We will do this off camera. It doesn't really look that bad, but if you get a certain angle, you can actually spot the orange peel on it still. Although white actually hides it pretty well, if you ask me. So we'll see, guys. Maybe I'll get this thing polished off camera rather, and just get this truck looking as good as it can be. So for now, I'm going to just carry on with one more thing. So I don't think I'm going to strip the suspension off on camera again, because I mean, you guys probably see it a million times by now. So there's one thing that I do want to see if we can take care of, and that is the wheels. So now that we've got our own tire changer, we are going to be able to take these tires off ourselves, and we are going to be able to paint the wheels and get the tires refitted. But I was kind of thinking we are going to be getting some higher wall tires, so that might be something that we'll order as well, now that we've got a little bit more money to spend. And I think it's gonna look pretty good once we get the proper tires on this thing, unless if we decided to lower the car. I don't know if that's going to be a thing, if we put some lowering springs and torsion bars on this thing and then maybe slam it a bit. But then again, I was also thinking of trying these wheels on the car. Let's maybe try one. And then you guys can also let me know in the comment section if we should try and see if we can make these wheels fit the car. They are going to need some wheel spaces though, but I don't know. You guys will have to let me know what you think about this. Let's just lift it up because these wheels are a little bit bigger. So I don't know. They might actually look good if we decided to put these on the car. And we could always send them in for some chrome plating. I think that might actually look pretty decent, but I'm going to leave it up to you guys to decide. Let's just maybe hang another one on this corner. Just have a look at it. So that way I can actually finally pay this guy for the wheels, because I told him I will pay him for them once I found a use for them, because at the moment we are just kind of hanging on to these, and I don't really know. We used them a little bit on the Camaro, but it was more like a temporary thing. So I don't know, guys. What do you think? Should we go with those wheels, or rather stick with the classic ones and just maybe get the chrome hubcaps on those with the proper tires and keep the car at stock, right? Because now, let's just do this. I just want to check something. If we lower it down with these wheels installed, let's just tighten up 3 bolts on this. And just make sure that this thing isn't going to come flying off when I lower it down now. Okay, so let's lower it down. Yeah, maybe just some wheel spaces, then these would fit pretty good, because I mean, those are pretty mean looking wheels. So yeah, wheel spaces, stock ride height with these wheels might look good. I don't know. I'll leave it up to you guys to tell me what do you think. So yeah, well, let's continue with the other wheels. We're going to take these off again, because we still need to paint the car anyway, and get that all sorted and, you know, looking all nice and shiny again. So let's go ahead and remove these wheels again, and we are going to put the car up on some jack stands. I think it's going to be a little bit better for us to work on. All right, let's lift it up again. Okay, and we've got our jack stands under here. I just decided to leave them outside because, I mean, we've got stuff laying all over the yard anyway. So, yeah, a little bit of jack stands laying outside wouldn't be a problem. Alright, put that under there. And, okay, let's just take this one off as well. Alright, so there we go. We'll just put these away a little bit later on. Okay, let's lower this car down. Alright, so we are also going to take the other wheels off on the other side and just put some jack stands under it. So I think what I'm going to do is we are going to have to paint these wheels anyway at some point for another vehicle if it's not going on this car. So I am going to take the tires off. Alright, so pop that under there. And pop this one under here. Okay, and we can lower it back down. Okay, nice and sturdy on the jack stands. Alright, let's just give it a tug and see if it... Yeah, that's nice and solid. Okay. Alright, let's take this one off as well. Alright, there we go. Alright, let's bring this inside. So there's the first one. We'll just put it here, and I'll be keeping an eye on the comment section, guys. So let me know about these wheels. If we should go with these, or if we should put the 5 stars on it. I don't know. So yeah, these will look pretty good if we paint them the same color as the car, that green, and get those hubcaps as well. But I do think we need bigger tires then, because these are going to be a little bit too small. Unless if we decided to lower the car, maybe then they would fit a little bit better. But yeah, I don't really like lowering a car, because then it's a bit of an issue when you go over bumps and through ditches and stuff. Oh, we still need to remove the last wheel. Okay. Alright, get this one off. Alrighty, and we'll put this on our tire changing machine over here real quick and just get this last tire off. Yeah, we've got an abundance of wheels, but okay, those wheels over there doesn't belong to us. Those are Brian's wheels, and we've got some old tires that I took off the other rims, the steely. So yeah, we definitely are running a little bit out of space in this little workshop of ours, or well, I can't really call it a workshop. It's more like a little office with all of the parts. So yeah, we are going to be having a look at seeing if we can maybe get ourselves a bigger shop. And the shop down the road from us here, guys, that thing has been abandoned. Not really abandoned, but there's nobody who's been interested in buying the property. And I'm starting to think that maybe I should try and see if I can find something out. No, I actually haven't spoken to Uncle Bill about it yet, but if that property is available, we could actually take a little bit of a drive over there real quick. I think let's do this and go and have a look at this place. I think it is open and unlocked and everything, so we can maybe walk around a bit and just see what it's all about. But I do not want to go trespassing and get into trouble here, but I think it wouldn't hurt to just go and have a look and see what we can figure out. So let's take a drive down here. It's literally just up the road, so if we did have to move our whole shop over here, it wouldn't be a big issue. It's something that we can definitely take care of. Alright, so let's just stop right over here. And now it's also getting a little bit dark. Alright, but let's have a quick look at this place, guys. This would be an amazing shop for us. I don't know what they used this place for. It looks like it was like a warehouse of some sort at some point. I've got no idea, because it's not really any indication what it was, but there's a lot of parking spots. So I don't know if this was a shop at some time that maybe also did some work for some people. I don't know, but there's a door over here, which I guess is like a receiving end of things. Plenty of parking spaces over here. I don't know if... Yeah, what is exactly going on here? What is this? This is a... Oh, there's a... Looks like an office over here, and there's a table over there. Alright, don't really be trespassing, so we're just going to be having a look around on the outside. There's a little backyard here as well, which is actually perfect for if we've got some non-running cars that we are maybe potentially going to be stripping parts off. So this might actually work out. And there's a big dustbin here, which is also very helpful in case we've got a lot of trash to get rid of. But yeah, I mean, look at the space of this place on the inside. It's actually a whole lot of room, and yeah, I don't know, guys, but it's definitely something maybe to try and figure out and see what is the story of this place and what can be done here. Because I don't know, it's definitely something that we can consider for ourselves. Yeah, you can clearly see with the L on the floor here, it's a loading zone. So maybe people have been using this place for storage at some point. I don't know. I really can't tell what type of building this is, but it can definitely work for a car shop. And it looks like there's even a built-in garage there. I don't know what's up with that, But okay, guys, I think that is pretty much it for today's episode. It's definitely been, you know, quite a bit of an adventurous day again, and we did quite a lot of things. And yeah, so do give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. I will also appreciate it very much. And then, guys, I will see you all hopefully in the next one. So cheerio for now.